Okay. I'm still adjusting to this. Let me just cut it down on YouTube. There we go. That should be good. How is my mic? Mic's working great. Fantastic. This is my first stream from Ubuntu, which is the operating system loathed by everyone who thinks that they're better than Ubuntu. Or, I don't know, I guess that's not fair to say. I have some pretty shit experiences with Ubuntu. The desktop on Ubuntu just loves to shit itself and delete itself for no fucking reason. But what do you expect? Oh my fucking god. So, let me just turn this off. So I gotta get into it. I have to use you, my live audience, and my future audience as a method of therapy, because I'm pretty sure I don't, it's nice to get money and nice to get, fan zones and stuff, and it's nice to talk to people, and it's nice to put on a show, but really, at the heart of this stream is a dedication to the mental health of a fucking lunatic who runs a website, and it's mostly for my benefit, to be completely honest, and not like in a material way, like in a, if I didn't do this, I'd probably be hiding like Ukrainian hookers in my basement kind of way. So instead of doing that, we're going to talk about our feelings, and we're going to talk about what we did this week. I'll start. I did not put up a podcast yesterday, so if you're someone who if you're one of the few people who only listens to this through iTunes or whatever, you may have noticed that last week I missed one. Well, I did not truly miss it. I just did a very weak stream on YouTube where I was very demoralized. And I was demoralized because for the first time in almost 7 years, my web zone as a Kiwi Farms has been hacked, and 4,000 people, at least 4,000 people, had email addresses and IPs leaked, which is not a good feeling when people put their trust in you to protect their shit. It's not a good feeling when that doesn't happen. Subsequently, I reversed my position on never deleting accounts. We had almost never deleted any forum account whatsoever for any reason on the site, and left protecting your details up to the user. So for the last week, I've been deleting accounts, and I probably deleted at least 200 or so. And I remember I wrote a post about this, about my feelings and stuff, because again, I have to commit to some form of therapy, or I'd be a serial killer at this point. But my method of therapy, or my post that I wrote, mentioned that when I was a kid, when I was like 7 or 8, I was with my mom, and I stole gum from a gas station. I wanted gum, and she said no for whatever reason. I guess she hates gum. So I just grabbed, a 99 stick of gum, and she found out because I took it out of my pocket in the car, and she made me march up to the counter of the gas station and admit to the clueless attendee, who was completely unawares of my grand theft, that I had stolen the chewing gum and put it up on the counter. I imagine he probably had to trash it later, because you can't really put food like that back on the shelves once it's been taken out. But regardless, I was very sad, and I probably cried. I don't remember if I cried, but most of you would probably believe that I cried. So I did not cry this time. I don't cry anymore. I'm an adult. But the process of going through every account request and manually pressing the delete button over and over and over again, like going up to the counter and just putting the gum, saying, yeah, I fucked up. I gotta get rid of this now, and just repeating that 100 times. And it's very frustrating. It's very taxing on one's constitution to have to do something like that. But I do believe that it was the best course of action. Otherwise, I wouldn't have reversed policy on something that I've held for so long. And the last week hasn't been any better. It's very fun seeing your website up on websites like Have I Been Pwned, which is interesting. Then there's been a subsequent series of attacks on the server itself, besides hacking, less intricate, less thoughtful approaches. Just today, I've been dealing with a fucking DDoS. It's just some guy, and it's I know this guy. I don't even know if it's the same person. There's so many people who hate the site that it's not possible to guess if the multiple things going on in 1 week are the responsibility of a single person. But after the attack, I completely fucking deconstructed the entire site and I put it back together again with a different approach to isolating services. So I completely rebuilt the topology of the entire network. Basically, that took several days, 16 hours a day to fucking do. I have to download from my backups on the cloud, and that costs money because you're paying per gigabit, and there are like over a terabyte of information. Not to mention I had to reinstall it several times because at one point I fucked up one of the disks and I had to completely reformat it and download the terabyte off the fucking cloud again. So that's like several $100s in just bandwidth expenses for backups and shit. It's fucking, it was nonstop. And then once it gets all set up and it's trucking for about 12 hours, somebody starts fucking hammering it with a regular good old-fashioned denial of service attack, mitigate that, and then the site's just fucking crawling. It's just at a fucking standstill, and I'm sitting here for hours thinking, why is the site so fucking slow? I reconfigure that. I had this all set up before, but I reinstalled everything. So it's like, okay, I have to figure out what tuning I had to get the site to run under its regular workload on top of being hardened to these kinds of attacks. And I'm thinking, like, this has to be some weird fucking network level attack because multiple services are going down. There's no RAM usage. There's no CPU usage. There's no I/O weight. What the fuck could possibly be happening? And then some guy on Twitter just says, oh, maybe it's a slow LoRa's or slow HTTP attack. I'm like, that can't be it because I have so many ports open. I have so many processes open. It's a beefy machine. It should be able to handle a fucking slow LoRa's attack. And then I'm thinking, oh, wait. I don't have, on this container, I don't have maximum files open. It's still at like 4,000 files open. So I lift that up to the ceiling and boom, like that. It just fucking works again. So I'm like, okay, so there is some motherfucker, some asshole motherfucker, some faggot motherfucker sitting there fucking with me just every day trying to figure out a way to take down this site. And I'm like, why? I can't even imagine if you applied yourself in any other way. You'd probably overcome whatever challenge the site posited a person who has a thread on it. But I'm gonna make it. I've not Iniv. That's a good guess. Iniv is probably a good guess. But then again, I don't know. He likes the infamy. He would want his stuff to be up because he likes that infamy. I'm gonna make a guess. I'm gonna say it's the furries because I think, based on some activity that I've seen, I think there is a clique, like a little Discord server of LGBT plus furries. And they're coordinated by someone who hates the site but is using it for its own purposes, using them for his own benefit. Because during the downtime, on the September 11th downtime, I was looking at my webmaster console and I had noticed a very, very coordinated effort to de-index 12 different threads that were all from animal control. And one extra person who's not in animal control, who is someone who claims to be a hacker. So I'm thinking, okay, so this guy is using the fucking furries, and they're all working together in some little fucking Discord server to try to bring down the site. And it's like, even if you did, even if I gave up, if I threw in the towel, I said, fuck it, this isn't worth it. I don't get paid enough to deal with this shit. I don't get paid enough for 16-hour workdays. I would still zip it. I would still zip the entire site up and distribute it on fucking torrents and stuff, and that would never ever go away. Whatever information is on the site that you fucking hate, it will never go away. And if I find out who's doing it, I will make sure that there is a read-only version of your thread in raw HTML that's not some hyper-complicated big-ass form like this running PHP and shit. Just pure HTML, a good archive copy that goes up and will never ever come down across 1,000 different like little VPSs that you can't take down. That's the gambit. Because I know who you motherfuckers are. It's easy to do that. Fuckers. That's my rant. Let's see if I got this. Oh, let's check in on Narcissa Wright. Here's how good my week is going. You ready? My fucking mouse is broken and I can only double click. Everything. The fucking backspace key on my keyboard is broken and I can't use it all the time anymore. My fucking mouse button only double clicks. I don't know if you guys ever watched the movie Little Miss Sunshine, where just every fucking thing that goes wrong is happening one after the other. But that's how I feel. Psych gets fucking hacked. Psych gets fucking DDoS. Shit's happening. I don't understand. Takes an hour to figure out. Mouse double fucking clicks. Mouse backspace button don't fucking work. It's like I need something to go right. At least one thing this week. Please fucking do your job as expected. Okay, here's Narcissa.
I got a job.
Narcissa got a job. And for the record, I'm not surprised. Narcissa is a tech T, very, very high demand type of person these days. Let's see what chat's saying. Oh, the Mountain Dew, of course, yes. My insides are turning to pestilence. Speaking of, here's our wonderful government at fucking work. I don't know what these people get paid for. That United States Supreme Court case against me and Andrew Carlson, who was Melinda Scott's stalker. The writ of certiorari, or whatever, was filed and was supposed to be due by September 6th. Well, for those of us not in the current day and current time, it is currently Vereznia 18th. So they're fucking late on this shit. I mean, I don't know. Did it get rejected? Did it? Did they forget about it? Did they look at it once and throw it in the fucking trash? I haven't a fucking clue. It's late and gay. Yeah, pretty much. So I don't know. The Mountain Jews don't seem to be having too much luck themselves, to be honest. I guess that's all there is to say about that. I've already made fun of the actual filing. I don't usually talk about politics, but I do want to talk about this. I am, for whatever reason, subscribed to the Democratic National Convention's mailing list. I don't know if I've ever voluntarily subscribed to be on this or if it was just thrust upon me. But either out of laziness or curiosity, I've stayed subscribed to it. And in this email, it says there are 298 days, 12 hours, 25 minutes, and 30 seconds until the 2020 DNC convention. The DNC is flying one lucky Democrat and their guests to Milwaukee, Wisconsin for the 2020 Democratic National Convention. We'll cover your hotel, travel, stay, and tickets. All you have to do is donate $3 to be automatically entered for your chance to win. Now, I don't know anything about the Elections Commission or whatever. I don't know what the rules are for crowdfunding, but I know on Patreon, and yes, I am comparing the rules for political campaigns to Patreon, but Patreon doesn't let you do a raffle. Like if you're on my if you're in my $50 tier or whatever, and I'll pick your suggestion for this video that I'm doing, that's a raffle by Patreon rules, and you can't do that. You'll get in trouble. I don't know. It seems weird to do a raffle. Can I just do like a lottery? I want like a Democrat Party brand lottery, like the mega democracies where the lotto number goes up to like 1 billion or something. It just seems very weird. And there's many weird nuanced things about this email to the point where I brought it up. This is the thing 300 days in advance. So you're entering to win something that won't happen for pretty much an entire year. It's like 10 months away. It's a very long time away to be having, like, I can't imagine anything that I would be excited for 10 months. That's something you forget about until like it creeps up on you. Never mind the fucking Democratic National Convention. That's not exciting at all. But apparently, I guess, I don't know. Maybe someone would be so excited about it. But then number two, like the DNC convention is when they pick the candidate, like who they're putting up as their party candidate to go against Trump, I guess, this year. So you're you're entering this competition to go to the DNC convention, but you don't know who the pick is. You don't know who the actual nominee is going to be. So I can imagine doing this like, okay, we got 7 days to go. We already know that Yang or whoever is going to be, the pick. So if you want to go see Yang get nominated formally, you can enter this raffle. And you can go up and say, well, that would make more sense. This doesn't make any sense because you don't know who the fuck it's going to be. If you're voting for Andrew Yang and he's like number 4 right now, you're not going to feel good enough about that to want to to want to put a 1 in a million bet on him, on getting to see him for free. You know what I mean? I don't know. I saw this in my inbox and like, this is like one of the worst offers. One of the worst ideas I've ever seen. Because number one, it looks like gambling, and number two, who the fuck wants to go to the Democratic National Convention? I can't. Because it's like Hillary got nominated. They've already had their first female candidate from a major political party. She got nominated in 2016, so it's not like it's making history no matter what. It's just it's completely unremarkable, and they're probably going to lose because of Trump. Whatever. Sorry, that's just an aside. That's just random musings. Speaking of China and Chinamen like Andrew Yang, why is it whenever I say anything positive about China, people get mad at me? If I say, because I brought this up about Richard Stallman was ousted from his own organization, the Free Software Foundation, and he would resign from his honorary position at MIT. Following allegations that he's like a sex pest or something from women's in the industry who don't fucking do anything. The beacon, the most principled free license proponent in the entire world, has been removed from the Free Software Foundation because he got Me Too'd basically, and he has said some pretty fucking gross shit. He's what we would call a lolbertarian because he basically condones like pedophilia and bestiality. He has a very strange understanding of what a victimless crime is, and his early writings and musings on the internet from like 2003 are really fucking gross. But he was in a job that he was good at, so just keep him there. Ignore his fucking crazy bullshit. He eats things off his feet. He picks foot fungus off of his toes and eats it in public. Like he's a retard. But he has a very logical understanding of how licensing works. Just leave him alone. But no, we have to get rid of him because he's problematic. We need a brown person and a woman to be that in MIT and the Free Software Foundation. And I guarantee you the next pick they're going to make is going to be some fucking bitch. Some fucking bitch. Who has no pedigree and nobody cares about. Oh, you guys have never heard of that? Oh, people in chat are reacting. Making me pull this up. Oh, this is like 2 minutes long. Where's the fucking... Oh, 6 seconds. There we go. Perfect.
I don't know. Anyway.
Very justified. Thank you.
It doesn't show the part where he pulls that off of his foot. That's 2 minutes long. Oh, did they not... Oh, fuck you. Why is YouTube such shit? Whatever. Anyways, he picks something off his feet and eats it. That's the story. That's my story. He's a spurg, but when it's autism is like a reactor core rod, right? You're in Chernobyl. You got your radioactive cores, and they're in the ground, and they make the energy. That's what autism is. But you can't let it explode because then it's going to cook everybody's face off and it's going to start eating its foot fungus. You got to make sure it's nice in the ground and the granite's where it's supposed to be and there's not going to be any explosions. That's autism. You don't Me Too it because then you don't have any power. You don't have any power. You're not getting anything done. So you have to treat autism like radioactive material. And getting rid of Stallman's a big fucking deal. Now, my reaction to this was that when I saw he got ousted, my point was that, number one, never work with trannies or women in the industry. If you are ever in a position to, can I say this? Whatever. If you are ever an employer, do not ever hire women or transsexuals to work for your company in IT because they are dangerous. Just don't do it, because it is like planting a bomb on the foundation of your building. It's gonna explode at some point, so don't do it. And I said that China is likely to overtake, China or Slavic countries are likely to overtake the United States and the West in general. Not just in IT, but in a lot of things, because it's very egalitarian. There was the big thing I like to point at is AI. When they were developing facial recognition technology using AI, and it had just started, the Chinese realized that they had a problem. The machine learning they were importing from the West had problems telling Asian people apart. Right? It had a lot of difficulty, and we saw this with the iPhone. The iPhone face unlock would very frequently misidentify Asian people to other Asian faces. It's just a fact of the situation. The machines could not tell Asian people apart. Very similar to how Google and Google Pictures were identifying black people as gorillas. And when Google found that out and that got publicized, they just destroyed it. They took that feature out almost completely, or they hardwired it so that gorillas would not, like, I think that was the fix. Their fix for that misidentification was that they completely removed gorillas and monkeys as suggestions in this auto-tagging system. And Asia had a different reaction. When they were getting misidentified by machine learning, they held a conference in, I think, Shanghai, one of the there's a couple big universities in China, Beijing and Shanghai are the really big ones. So they had a big conference, and they talked about it, and I think they sorted it out. And now China has some of the best facial recognition technology in the entire world, and they use it to police every street corner in the entire country, especially in provinces with unrest like the Uyghurs up north. So my point is that in Asia, a problem comes up. It's an awkward problem. I see everybody's laughing in chat, based AI and stuff. It's very funny. But they don't, they might laugh about it, they might make jokes about it, but then they fix it. In the US and in the West, it's such a delicate issue that we can't talk about it, and because we can't talk about it, we can't adequately address it. So when I say I think that Asia is going to overtake the US and the West in terms of machine learning, especially machine learning, and I'll explain why in a sec, but people laugh at me. People laugh at me and say, "Oh, Josh, the chinky chinks in their insect brains, all they know how to do," I should really put in a southern accent for this, them shanks with their insect brains can't do nothing but steal from the white man, and they will never ever overtake the US. That is what I'm told. And I disagree. I completely disagree. I don't think that Asians are as predisposed to just copycat and never do anything ever unique on their own. I think that's a preposterous idea. They've had to do a lot of catching up because they industrialized late. They had communism, and they had the industrial stagnation that the Soviets suffered. But now that they're essentially more capitalistic than the U.S. Now that they're in this state, they're taking double steps. They go straight from learning how to do industry to leading the way in AI. And that's what they're really doing. Is Xi Jinping is investing heavily in artificial intelligence. He routinely visits the big universities, and he specifically visits the artificial intelligence groups because he knows that in a country with 1 billion plus people, if you want to effectively police it, you need to have machines making a lot of decisions. And that's going to lend itself to all sorts of advancements. And I think it's going to overtake the U.S. because they send their Chinese students over to the U.S. We educate them. They go back to China. Not all of them, but a lot of them. So I don't find it funny, and I don't buy into the idea that the Asians are just mimickers who like parakeets who don't know anything themselves and just steal. I think that's bullshit. Uh, so oh, and this made me angry because I know people always reference this post on Poll where a guy learns Mandarin and gets sent to do business in China and has a very negative experience. That post is like 6 years old, and I see it constantly. Whenever anyone talks about China on Poll, they bring up this one post where this one guy says that he had a bad time dealing with con artists and shit in China. And it seems like everyone's frame of reference of what doing business in China is like comes from that one post. It's one of the most influential writings of the 21st century. This one fucking shit post where this guy says that he learned Chinese and had a bad time in China. Like, try doing business in Ukraine. Try doing business in fucking anywhere that's not the U.S. or Germany with heavily standardized industries. You're gonna have a bad time. You're gonna have to deal with a lot of bullshit. Well, that's my rant on that. Don't ever underestimate your opponents if you want to win. Blue pill stream. Oh, let's talk about a real blue pill, or rather, a red pill. Somebody sent me this right before the stream, a couple hours before, and I quite liked it. This is a recent article on The Guardian by Alex Hearn. Catastrophic effects of working as a Facebook moderator. Exclusive. Job has left some addicted to extreme material and pushed others to the far right. The task of moderating Facebook continues to leave psychological scars on the company's employees months after efforts to improve conditions for the company's thousands of contractors, The Guardian has learned. A current group of current and former contractors who worked for years at social networks. I didn't realize that the fucking moderator team out of Facebook was in Berlin. I guess that's fair. They got their history with the Stasi, right? So the Berlin-based moderation centers has reported witnessing colleagues becoming addicted to graphic content and hoarding ever more extreme examples for personal collection. They also said others were pushed towards the right, or the far right, by the amount of hate speech and fake news they read every day. They describe being ground down by the volume of work numbered by the graphic violence, nudity, and bullying. Oh no, not the bullying. They have to view for 8 hours a day, working nights and weekends for practically minimum pay. That's funny. I like the idea that they have to read all these fucking. If you didn't make fake, quote unquote, fake news a bannable offense that has to be strictly moderated on Facebook, your fucking employees wouldn't be exposed to so much quote unquote fake news. Just a thought. Though this does make me wonder. Red pill jokes aside, because I've seen posts on Poll and stuff, like, do you think that the FBI agents who have to moderate, have to like alert Poll, do you think they get red pilled? I'm sure they do. I'm sure a lot do. Because I know that the Facebook employees do at least. But it makes me wonder, because people talk about like porn and stuff, especially lolicon. Like they say that my argument is that a drawing could never is a victimless crime. Always a drawing is a victimless crime. Unless it's like traced or something. But now, people say that it trains people to seek out a certain kind of content. Now I'm wondering, addicted to. So I guess, is the argument that if you take normal people and expose them to gore and shit, they start to like it? Is that the findings of this? What do you guys think so? I'm curious because I hear people make that argument, and I don't know how I think about it. Gore pilled? I don't know. I'm brown pilled. And desensitization is different than actively liking something because you've seen it. No, that's retarded. Doesn't it work with video games and violence too? I don't know. That's a good question. These are the questions of our times. Does looking at lolicon make you a pedophile? Does looking this not looking at, but because that makes it look like you or sound like you seek it out. Does seeing it turn you into a pedophile? Does seeing gore make you violent? That is, does seeing violence make you violent? And these are the questions of our era. Because if you think about it, people way back when, people in the 1940s, 1950s, they might have heard about violence a lot. They might have read about violence, but they never saw it. They would have seen it maybe once in their life, but we didn't have photographs for a long time. No, nope. No. Desensitize me. Nope. People disagreeing with this. Is that because you think that, or is that because you want to believe that? That's my question. Okay. Except public executions. Yeah, we need to bring those back. Why don't we guillotine people anymore? They had I want to say it was Russia where they had the guillotine in use, like up until the end of the Soviet Union or something. It was really recent that they still had execution by guillotine, which I thought was pretty badass. Why the fuck did we get rid of the guillotine? Am I pro lolly? I'm not pro lolly. I tolerate it because I think anyone who would intentionally seek out lolicon is a pedophile. But at the same time, it's a drawing. I can't even pretend to get mad about a drawing. I can't even feign outrage. It's somebody, some one of them fucking chanks took their bamboo pen and their Wacom bamboo tablet, put the two together, and came up with some lines and colors on fucking paint tool sci. And I'm supposed to be outraged about that. No, fuck you. I can't even pretend to give a shit. Call me when somebody gets hurt, and then I'll give a shit. Up until that point, I don't care. That's my professional opinion on this topic. Okay. Now, I should explain that I've been intentionally avoiding this topic. I have been neglecting quality content because I am being defamed vigorously by my proponents and my opponents alike as being a feeder. And everybody knows this is incorrect. And I'm not self-conscious about it, but I'm tired of hearing it. So I thought I'll just not talk about fat chicks for a while. And eventually people will stop bringing it up. And we can go back to making fun of fat chicks again. But it has not stopped. This pervasive lie against my character continues onward with the same impetus that it always has. So I'm gonna have to give up this idea that one day I will be able to live my life as a man who likes slender women and just enjoy laughing at fat women. So I'd like to present to you a video called Mukbang Whole Rotisserie Chicken by my girl Amberlynn Reed. I just want to say that thumbnail is this entire video. It's 16 minutes long. We're not going to fucking watch 16 minutes. Can I make the background? Sorry, this is a digression. I want to make the background of this like darker. Hold up. Oh, I can't do that. Damn it. Whatever. I can't see my glorious chat on the right-hand side, and I really want to, but set aside. The thumbnail, for those of you listening, maybe those of you who are visually impaired and cannot gaze upon this, I want you to imagine a 600 to 700 pound woman, and she has positioned in front of her a whole rotisserie chicken, and she has opened her mouth like she is a shark. And she's staring directly. She's not even looking at the chicken. She's looking at you as if she... people say that actual feeders like this kind of stuff that's supposed to be seductive for actual feeders. I have no opinion on this. It looks like she's staring directly into my soul is what it looks like. And the chicken being in the way is just an unnecessary, like an unfortunate coincidence. But she's going to tear through that fucking chicken regardless. So, Let's watch a couple minutes of this, and I'll describe for moments where there is silence, and there will be few moments where there is silence. I will describe what is happening.
Hey guys, so I know the video you guys got from me yesterday was a mukbang. I figured we do another. So this is just rotisserie chicken. So
oh no,
I'm just gonna dive right in.
Okay, so we're 12 seconds in. I'm gonna pause it right there. We're 12 seconds in. That is the shortest intro to an Amberlynn video I've ever heard. She usually talks about bullshit before getting to the point every time. This time, however, there is a whole rotisserie chicken strategically positioned in front of her, and she cannot physically restrain herself from attacking this food, this morsel in front of her. So we get 12 seconds of hello, and then right into the good bits. Now, if you're not listening, you're going to be missing a great deal of visual information from this video, but I'll do my best.
I saw other mukbangers eat. By the way, wings are my favorite part, so I'm gonna start with that.
Okay, so that first bit, I saw other mukbangers devour a whole bird in one sitting. That's her excuse for this engorgement. But then she goes right for the wing. Now, there's something that comes up in a second that is disgusting, and I will describe it.
I saw other mukbangers do this, and I was like, oh my god, that looks so good.
She is putting the chicken wing into her mouth, like the entire thing.
Rotisserie chicken is one of my favorites ever.
Like the entire tip of the wing. It's quite appalling.
I'm so weird. I love this part.
She's literally just sucking on the burnt ew. On the ew.
There's just so much
on the
flavor
burnt
in it.
tips. Yeah, there's so much flavor in the burnt fucking tips of the wing. Now
everyone I know is like, why do you eat that part?
Ew. Okay, she's in ecstasy eating this fucking burnt chicken tips.
So.
Now, oh, hold up. That wasn't the right time.
As of lately.
It's coming up, though.
I feel like I should turn this so you guys can see what I'm dealing with here. As of lately, really as of lately, I'm trying really hard to like eat more just like lean meats, veggies.
There's no veggies. It's just,
see what I'm doing.
It's just chicken.
I'm trying to give you guys a good view. Because realistically, those things are way better for me than the things
there's an observation. I'm waiting for it to happen.
I ate to get this size. So, one thing you'll learn about me, I don't like fat. So, on meat, that is a no-go.
She likes her food real fucking dry. It's weird. She likes like the driest parts of the animal. I'm not even sure why.
Okay. Let's dive into this.
There's a part in particular that I was waiting for. Is this it? She's so quiet. She can't. Yeah, okay. This is just feed her shit at this point. The observation I wanted to make is that she was talking at one point in this video as I was listening through it. Because somebody linked it to me. I don't seek this out. But she starts she starts talking faster. Like really, really fast. Like comically fast. Because she wanted to get to the next bite faster. Like she has to at least pretend that what she's doing is not masturbatory for perverts. So she puts on her conversation, and that as she's doing this, she wants to eat more. So she starts talking really, really fast. She's just blowing through conversation really, and then putting the next piece up in her mouth and shit, and then chewing and swallowing real fucking fast, and then bashing through the next half a sentence, in a nanosecond, and it was comedic perfection. I actually laughed out loud while listening because it's just like how gross. That's it. I think that's all I had. I didn't get to prepare as much as I wanted to because I was subjected to another serious, egregious attack against my web zone. There's actually something that I want to play, but I don't know if I can access it. Aha! Aha! Assuming my fucking website wants to work. Aha. Oh, thank fucking God. Okay. This is my girl, Virgo. Fuck off.
I'm making a quick video. Raw Christina is being attacked by a man named Goddess. I'm not even going to put their faces here.
She finally... Okay,
Christina
if you are not somebody who's followed the streams for a while, this woman, Virgo Rouge, is fucking insane. She's a schizophrenic. And the first time I started streaming, she would record my streams with a video camera and rant about how I was a retard, genetically inferior redneck hillbilly. And she disappeared for a long time. I would do an update on her videos as it came out. Now, she posted this video and then immediately deleted it. But I just remember the first, 3 minutes or so of this clip were fucking fantastic. And vintage Virgo. She's my real stream GF, not Amberlynn. Virgo, this psycho lady.
In her beauty, she's genetically healthy. She possesses beauty inside, outside, high cheekbones, nice eyes, great hair, nice, sweet personality. Some of her taste in music I don't agree with. I think it says beautiful.
If you're not watching the video, it's literally just a recording of a countertop or something real close up.
That's the kind of music that I listen to, or the taste in maybe clothing, maybe I just feel, but she has beauty. More than a lot of people that I see online, inside, outside, but beauty to some people, his name is Goddess and his girlfriend, Luna, they believe that beauty is only what your skin looks like and how young you look. And he's 29.
He's just ranting about these
and Goddesses
raw food people.
And as beautiful as Christina, and he's bullying her online. Saying that she's as old looking as the hills, okay? And this is abusive. Now, why is he doing this? What is important? Well, what is important is that she's beautiful because she's genetically healthy. She might be spending a lot of time in the sun, and no, I don't believe that her vegan diet is aging her rapidly. She spends a lot of time in the sun, and she's a beautiful person in many ways.
3 minutes
inside
in,
and out.
she starts going
the beauty
crazy.
level of me, Marisa, is high. Very high beauty level in terms of my singing, my taste, my
Oh, that okay. Can I cut this up? I want to cut this up a little bit because there's an. Tell me if it gets too loud or something. This part right here.
Is high.
I think it's at 1:30.
And she's a beautiful person.
She starts complimenting herself.
In many ways, inside and out. Now, the beauty level of me, Marisa, is high. Very high beauty level in terms of my singing, my taste, my level of refinement. My outer beauty is high, and even leaves on the trees will die, and I will die and still be beautiful on my deathbed, because I was born beautiful, because I, just like leaves were born beautiful and then they die, and that's it. People die. And people need to face reality that they are a dying flower and that they're going to die and wither and die and face it. But that doesn't mean a person isn't beautiful or worth something, because they're basically going to die at some point in their life, or they're reaching death. No. And Christina dances with her 80-year-old father, and he's a beautiful person. He looks beautiful even now. And my dad had a hook nose, and he possessed a lot of ugly traits.
Wait,
My mother was ugly in many ways, screaming, yelling, unrefined. If you saw her up close, you'd see she had rhinoplasty, big hook nose, and fixed her nose. But could that help? No, she just didn't take care of her skin. She wasn't refined. She was very ugly as a person. And so if you saw her up close, the pictures are not the same thing as what a person is. My mother was
to elaborate, this Christina woman runs some again like a raw food blog where she eats like weird shit as a part of a vegan diet or something. It's like vegan raw food or something. But she's really obsessed with this channel, and she's obsessed with like rating the beauty level of the woman who runs it and her boyfriend. And I think this is the video where she basically says that the Christina, I think, does like nudes, like, you know, she's about body positivity and stuff. Well, Virgo hates nudity and hates profanity. She's really very conservative and doesn't like any sort of obscenity. So the whole body positivity shit doesn't work for her, and she starts saying she's very ugly because she does naked stuff.
A woman, not on a very high level, no. She didn't possess softness like I do, and I possess serious amounts of beauty. Softness of my inner soul, my personality, and my sister had big, broad shoulders. She also had rhinoplasty and a hook nose. My cousin Seward has a hook nose, and his wife is as plain as day. Her music is bland. I'm not a typical opera singer because I have a special sound in my voice. Not all opera singers have real beauty in their voice. Some of them really do, some of them don't. And classical music is not necessarily that beautiful if it's bland, okay? So his wife is as bland as a burlap bag. Her music is bland, her clothes are bland, her website is bland.
She hates all her family members because they treat her like a schizophrenic.
My entire family feels that plaques on your wall is beautiful, $1 million prizes, and plaques and awards are beautiful. But you know what's beautiful? Trees, clouds, sun, certain pieces of music, such as Mares of Pegasus, that's beautiful. Horses in the field, Greek mythology, beautiful fantasies.
I'll come back to this one. There's a lot of them that I haven't seen yet. This is only a minute.
All the internet's about is having psychopaths on the internet ranting and raving, looking at other people when they're not, and using their diet as an excuse to bully all kinds of people, like Goddess and his girlfriend. Yeah, she's behind the internet insulting people too, and they never interviewed me when I've been on a raw primal diet for 8 years. Does that make me look better than other people? Not necessarily, no. Does it make me healthier? I'm not going to say anything, because I'm not on the internet to put myself on a pedestal. I do music, I have other things that I do with my life. You don't do anything, you don't even work. I work 15 hours a day. I'm a composer. You have no accomplishments except eating meat and eating food and getting a bunch of other people who do nothing with their lives to talk about what they do with food because you're a loser. Oh, just sitting and talking about nutrition? That's an excuse so you don't have to have a job because you're mentally ill. And we have a lot of people like this on the internet that don't even have jobs. They come on the internet just to sit and
I
talk
can't
about
turn
what
up the
they
fucking
do.
volume. This is as loud as it goes. This is all I got. I'm sorry. You keep spamming it. What the fuck? What the fuck do you want me to do? That's as loud as it goes. She likes to call other people mentally ill. And I think it's because people tell her that she's mentally ill. They say, you're mentally ill because of the crazy batshit fucking thing she says. And she comes back and it's like a child picking up insults and stuff, saying, no, you're mentally ill. And I'll try to make this one louder because I like gain it or something. Gain. I like doing the shit on the fly. It's a lot of fun.
Hello. So a lot of people try to get attention online. They don't do anything with their lives.
Yes, this is a different video. She just likes to say the same
Goddess,
shit a lot.
Raw Christina, Durian Ryder, all these people, I mean, they literally don't even make freely, they don't even work, and they've been just promoting themselves semi-nude or wearing little Speedos, cleavage. That's all they talk about is what they look like. Now, I just ate raw scallops and some things from a farm. Bad, big whip. Big whip. I have to get going because I have to go to work. So I'm not going to edit this. I don't think that my raw diet, I eat raw liver, makes me look better than other people. I think what makes me look better is being a nice person. Being always aware of who I am inside with God and reality. And this is just something to give me energy. I don't care about it. I don't think about food. I think about, okay, I work 15 hours a day. I think about beauty, culture. I wish I could do music. I am a professional, but beauty is on the outs. Inner beauty is plummeting, and psychopathy and narcissism is on the rise.
Somebody asked, she says in this video that she eats raw liver. There's actually a picture, a video of it, and I'll try to find it, but she literally eats raw liver tips and stuff. I'll try to find it, but yeah.
The ugliness of soul. It's genetic. And my music is very highly aesthetic and also maybe not visually aesthetic as much. I do have visual art, but it's just a disgusting, ugly world. Look at the cars. Look at the standards that people have. Look at cars. Look at all the pollution. Look at the way people think life should be. All these cars, you think that's normal? All the exhaust fumes everywhere? Cars are ugly. Isn't there a way that we could have a society without cars and just have horses and and have also electronic music and things that are more expensive and technology? Isn't there a way to do that? Right now, I think human beings are really not all there. And I don't like Goddess at all. I don't like his girlfriend. I don't like the kind of people they are, because all they do is talk about negativity and they insult people online. I think if vegans want to be vegans, it's meant to be. We're meant to have diversity. We're not all meant to be like you. And when you start telling people that you're crazy because you're not like me, then there's something wrong. You're not hurting anybody. And if it's meant to be, we have different kinds of people. But you're mentally ill. You're coming on the internet with all kinds of negativity and toxic overload. Total loser. He's a total loser and not good looking at all. And he's claiming he looks better than everybody. He's going to be forever young. And they're just plain as day. And it's all this anti-aging, whatever. And bull. And that's it. Gotta go. I have to work.
Do you guys think she actually works?
No, you don't work. You come on the internet looking at videos all day long and living in your mom's house. All these people don't even work jobs. They don't do anything with their lives except talk about what they look like. Yeah, they're whacked out.
I mean, what do you think she does when she turns off the camera? She says, I gotta go work, and she turns off the camera. I can't even imagine. Do you think she just like rocks back and forth in her living room? She doesn't seem like the type of person who watches TV or anything. Maybe she sits all day and watches stuff on YouTube and she just projects. Because I don't even know who she's talking to. She's certainly not talking to me. She's like chastising the internet at large, I guess. She just sit at home, calls it work. Oh, yeah, that's it. She probably does music composition and stuff. I don't know. I've only heard like 2 of her songs. She says that she composes 16 hours a day or some shit, but when it comes down to the actual like volume, the body of her work, there's not much to it. There is other thing that someone really, really, really wanted me to play. So I suppose I will. This video is about 4 minutes long. I guess we'll sit through most of it. Because, I don't know, it's a very visual video. Whatever, I'll play. And find it. Here we are. Okay, this is by Firefox, and I don't know, like my version of Firefox still has the old logo, but they're talking about how they've updated the logo, and it's just I really should have done this when I was talking about tech. But the shit they talk about is just like, it makes no fucking sense what their objectives are.
I came into the brand redesign about
That's
8 or
gonna
9
be
months
fucking
in.
loud.
And in some ways,
Because I had to crank it up for Virgo, because she doesn't know how to fucking film a video. Sorry.
I kind of wondered, like, when will we know when it's done?
You can't never finish because you're out of a job.
Anytime you touch a really beloved brand like Firefox, you have to go very carefully.
They gave a bunch of
Our
logo
logo
the job of
had
redesigning
always been
Firefox.
This fox flying through the air, surrounding the globe, going fast.
And we have a ton of brand equity in that Firefox logo.
About 250 million people around the world use Firefox every month, and thousands more contribute to the Firefox project. As a result, they have a lot of passion for the fox. It feels
All
like
the
a
furries
member
in
of
this
the
are really
family to
funny.
them.
There's like furries in fox costumes hugging people.
15 years. You don't want to mess that up.
But that fox could not stretch to cover all of the different products and services that we're going to be bringing out to the world.
Firefox is more than a browser. It's actually a whole family of products and services, all focused on privacy, all connected together.
Rebrands are about creating a new language. And if you don't
Okay, this part's kind of boring, I think. But basically what they describe is that they're getting rid of the fox on the Firefox logo. Because they say that Firefox is now like a family of products and shit. But it's like Mozilla was the company that owned all the different stuff. And you have like Thunderbird, and you have... But I guess now they do like VPNs and Pocket and stuff on Firefox. So they're redesigning it, and they put together all these whammons, and the whammons say, "Oh, we need to get rid of the fox. It's too complicated. It's not material design enough." And there's a ensemble of different logos like right around here. I'll just skip to this. It's I don't know how I could ever possibly describe this. All the different logos are just like a gradient color and some shapes and stuff, and I see what they're trying to do. They're trying to create like a family of icons like Google has and shit, and it's just like, why can't you just be a fucking browser is a really good question. Or why can't you make something new? Why does it have to, and why do you have to update the original icon in order to achieve this? There's actually a funny part where they posited like this actual fox looking icon at the start, but this is GitLab. There's another icon that exists for something called GitLab, which is identical to the fucking Firefox thing, and I guess they didn't even know about it. Somehow their entire fucking team of brand designers didn't know that GitLab existed and had an identical looking icon. So it makes me think, do the people they have working for this brand shit, do they not do anything in computers? Because you would know what the fuck GitLab is if you've ever worked in open source before. And they're talking about how there's a funny part I'll actually get to where they're saying, we're an open company and we value feedback, and even our brand process is open. We're so open source. But how the fuck does your open source brand team not recognize GitLab? It's the second most famous Git versioning system in the world besides GitHub. It's a very recognizable icon if you work in this. Hold up, where's this at? There's a part where they're like, oh, here it is.
When we started to post about this on our open design blog, some of the feedback we got was fear.
I guess I'm not the only one here, but don't change what is good and what is brand recognition. Just let the fox be the fox.
Ugly and incomprehensible. You should deal with more important things than trying to spoil the icons.
Pardon my French, but it looks like rainbow vomit. Okay.
I've never seen French rainbow vomit. Or French font. Have I seen French vomit?
That's a good idea.
That full gamut of commentary on the blog. And our posture in receiving that was to be grateful.
What that gave us a great opportunity to do was to start a conversation that we're not
I
changing.
hate that word.
We're evolving. And really the reason for
Okay,
doing that is to make
that
sure
line,
we have
hold
as
up. I
much
talked over it.
Changing, we're evolving. And real opportunity to do was to start a conversation.
We're not changing, we're evolving. Huh. I'm pretty sure that if I go to Google and type in evolution, the process by which different kinds of living organisms are believed to have developed from earlier forms during the history of Earth. The gradual development of something. I would imagine that change is a part of that. It's kind of like some bullshit doublethink or doublespeak to say that we're not changing, we're evolving. Like, what the fuck's the difference? Evolution is a type of change. You might say it's a positive change, but it's a change. I don't know. The GitLab thing blows my mind. Like, how the fuck can you possibly pretend to not know what GitLab is? That's all bullshit. I'm gonna leave it there. I mean, the actual logo, if you can't see it, it's literally just like a swirl. Like, you know the Firefox icon that everyone knows what the Firefox icon is? Imagine you take it, right, and you put it in Photoshop, and you put the spin filter on it, the whirlpool tool on it, and you just hold it down until it's unrecognizable except for like the motion and the colors. That is the current logo, and it's completely pointless. I don't understand. What it is material design. They're trying to make it material, and it's just ugly. Oh, Mozilla's never coming back. Mozilla is never coming back. They got rid of Ike. He's on Brave now. Download Brave. Stop praying for Mozilla. They're a fucking dying company. Speaking of Brave, actually, I'm glad I said that. Amberlynn. See what my girl's up to. I got many girls. I got the fat girls, I got the crazy girls, and I got this girl. My favorite author in the entire world, Sam Abrahamsson, wrote an article about how Twitter is dead to her and how she will not be trying to get back on with a new sock. This is after she's tried to do this like 8 times, but she keeps getting banned because she says psychotic shit and threatens violence fucking perpetually. I don't know if my ass cannot get banned off Twitter. I think it's doable. But I want to say it's right here. Oh, okay, this bit right here. The last 3 paragraphs I'll read because it's way too long to read all this shit. I mean, this is like what 12 paragraphs about how she's not rejoining Twitter. Brevity is the soul of wit. Fucking file that shit down so someone will actually read it. She gets an ass pat from like one person. She gets a like from one person. It's the same fucking people who read all her shit. This is hot off the heels of this rant she did on Brave. And I'm getting emails from this guy every day. He's like, I'm making websites calling everyone who works for Brave a pedophile because I advertise them or something. And they mistakenly believe that Brave somehow finances the Kiwi farms. And they don't. I make maybe $100 off of the advertise because I can't get money from the Brave Foundation directly. They ban me. But I can still get advertiser income from people who visit the site. And that's their money to spend. It's not a part of the Brave system. They can't ban me from that. So they're ranting and raving literally over fucking $100. It's not even going to cover my fucking cloud expenses this month. So whatever. But they're going after all the employees of the company. And she's writing these fucking nasty grams about Brendan Ike and shit. And it's like, for what benefit? Even if they kick us off. The damage was done because we made like $5,000 off of referrals and shit the first month, and then I got that, and then they banned us, and that's the end of that story basically, as far as I'm concerned. But okay, just keep in mind that she's trying to get us deplatformed from Brave for whatever good that's actually going to do. She thinks that it'll do a lot of harm. That's what matters. She thinks that this is a big deal, worth fighting over, worth harassing people over. And hot off the heels of that rant trying to get us removed from it, she writes this. And this is the last 3 paragraphs. There is nothing more I can say about our circumstances. And this is paragraph 1 of 3. I have never had the structural power to really affect change. Instead, I had hoped to appeal to people who do. But the more power they get, the more drone-like they become, never really telling the radical truth, instead conforming to an idea of the deserving. The more marginalized are edged further out, instead of being welcomed into the fold. We've all been focused on Brexit, with each camp claiming the other is fascistic. But from where I'm standing, they all look the same. Yes, Brexit is bad, but so is Europe for Europeans. She's Pakistani, by the way. I'm done fighting for the 2013 status quo. I'm happy to fade into obscurity and put all my energy into the specialist psychotherapy. What? All my energy into the specialist psychotherapy I've been referred to on the NHS. Even my GP was amazed and couldn't understand how it happened. So she's been in a fight. She had a discalectomy or some shit. I don't know what the fuck you'd call that. She had a disc removed from her back. And ever since then, she's been talking to the NHS to get her Gibbs because she's got the fibromyalgia. And she needs the free money because she can't work. And she has to spend all her time on Twitter and all her time on WordPress complaining. And she, I guess, is getting paid to go to a specialist in psychotherapy from the NHS now. But she says, I am grateful for the opportunity to work on myself as I should have in 2010 instead of freaking out about gross human rights violations and in the same shameless lies that allow them. Asylum-seeking cat indeed. Imagine throwing a whopper on that scale and still being allowed to become unelected prime minister. Democracy as a side dish, perhaps. And this last paragraph that I found most poignant. If we were mutuals and we share at least one other mutual and you want to stay in touch, give me your details to be the mutual in common. This is my only regret regarding Twitter. The thousands of like-minded keepers of truth and guardians of beauty I can no longer reach. Y'all, that's cultural appropriation. You can't say y'all if you're a packy woman in the UK. Y'all made Twitter just about bearable, and I am grateful for all your support. Ironically, all those who bemoaned radicals for creating echo chambers because we had a zero tolerance policy for bigotry ensured Twitter itself became a white supremacist echo chamber. Future generations will use it as an example of how not to do business. Heck, rules and standards might make a comeback if we reject white supremacy. She rewrote that entire last paragraph. She rewrote that entire, I'm pretty sure. Oh, you know what? I read the wrong paragraph. Sorry, let me read this one too. I saw this coming in 2013 and said I was silenced and ridiculed until I left shouting hysterically into the ether, ignored by even, quote, my own side. There is a tendency on the left to assimilate with the gatekeepers of your chosen profession. I watched as previously supportive comrades faded into the sidelines once they'd been published in The Guardian, no longer eager to retweet everything I retweeted. Solidarity is like actually the hardest word. It's difficult to side with the belligerent. I get it, but people are. She rewrote this. I feel like I'm going crazy. I have to see if she rewrote this because there was a point at the end where she said, maybe not. I feel like I'm losing my mind. There was a very poignant point in this, and I'm not going to read it all. Fuck that. But her thesis was that being silenced on the fucking internet really hurt her. And it's like, yeah, you fucking bimbo. You can't, you spent your entire life in the realm of slacktivism and you figured it out that being banned off shit fucking sucks. And you finally came to this conclusion. At the end of your journey, you're going to shrink away and take up psychotherapy for your fucking fibromyalgia and give up the fight for your communist Pakistani agenda because you got silenced so fucking hard and you have literally no one to talk to and no one to blame but yourself. And it's like, what I really came across was that she goes on, I think it's in the middle maybe, because she goes on about this for a while and says, everything that I've done was for nothing. I've wasted my fucking time. And then at the end, she says, she has that rant about white supremacy in the echo chamber of white supremacy and how things aren't specifically catering towards her anymore. Hot off the heels of the fucking Brandon Nike rant and trying to deplatform the site for more shit, for whatever whatever end goal. And it's like you come so close to recognizing what a horrible, vindictive person you are, and you fuck it up. You lack whatever introspection is required to see how hypocritical you are. Eat the worms. Oh, yeah, by the way, I shipped JF Garippy and Greta Thunberg, whatever the fuck her name is. Why is she famous, by the way? That fucking weird Swedish chick. I want you always to look at the face of a potato. Look at this. I don't understand this. How does this happen? How does somebody become famous who is so unremarkable and weird looking? She looks like a potato. She looks like an actual weird freak. I don't understand. She said nothing radical. She said nothing new. She didn't discover anything. She just wrote a thesis about climate change in Sweden, and somehow she's an international celebrity now. She's doing photo shoots with AOC. She's shaking hands with Barack Obama. She's in both the EU, the UN, and the fucking US Congress giving speeches about how we need to do more for climate. How does this happen? How does somebody so irrelevant become so famous? It's almost as if there is some sort of agenda and propping up white girls advocating for this agenda and spreading them around is artificial. It's a synthetic. It's a fucking mystery is what it is. Oh, the mother. That's right. The family is rich, supposedly. The voice of a generation. Oh yes, everyone. When I talk to people my age and younger, you know what they say? You know what they bring up? It says, "Josh, we really got to do something about climate change." Not even fucking Sama Brains Halal gives a fuck about climate change. In her mind, the tide's rising and all the white people drowning as a result is a net benefit for her. Nobody. I think Pakistan's all mountains, right? They'll be fine. She doesn't give a shit. If London's underwater, who cares? If Florida's underwater, who cares? Pakistan will be fine. A left-wing Lieutenant Corbis. Yeah, who would win? Who would win if those two got into a fight? Not like an argument, like a debate with facts and logic shit. Like if Lieutenant Corbis and Greta Thunberg got into a fist fight, an autistic duel, who would come on top? People are saying Corbis, but that's just rooting for the home team. Greta's got years on her. Number one, I don't know how tall is she. We need a weight. I need to know more about them. I wouldn't say that Corbis is fit or anything. Does she fight? Does she do karate? Does she do taekwondo? Niv would come on top. That's right. Oh, Thunberg has a retard strength. She's like a downy. She could activate her extra chromosome for a temporary buff to strength and completely destroy the competition. It's an unfair benefit. That's like a racial power in Oblivion or something. Pull out the once a day racial magic spell. No, I'm betting all on Greta. She's got the charge strength. That's my final answer. Oh, dude, Greta would go trans. That's right. Yeah, we need to knock this. This is only moderate clown. I need an actual clown catastrophe for me to become more invested in this beyond just wondering which tard would win in a fight. I need some real sick shit to happen. This is passe. This is like a gambit for the middle class that's already disenfranchised from the weird shit. It's too plain. The loud noise would make her shut down. Oh, fuck the people who took this poor innocent retard and propped her up in front of an international audience. How fucking sick. Alright. I've delayed the end of this stream long enough. Thank you, my friends, for joining me on this episode this podcast, this hour of distraction from all the shit that's been happening. I hope this week will be easier. Open the box. I'll open the box. All right. Anything else? Anything you guys can think of? No. Yeah. Yep. All right. Take it easy, my friends. Oh, and I have a video for this one. I've already played this song once, but I really like this. I really like this this rendition of this song and this music video. All right, take it easy.